pedophile protector Pete Hegseth is obviously all in on this war in Iran. He's made that extremely clear over the past few days, and why else would he preemptively change his official title to Secretary of War if he wasn't going to act like one? Obviously, there are many people responsible for the mess that we're in, including the president himself, who may have brought us into another conflict in the Middle East as a distraction from the Epstein files, or just simply because he was being dog-walked into it by Benjamin Netanyahu. Hegseth has his own reasons for being totally amped up about this operation, though. Not only because sending other people's kids to die overseas is just about the most masculine thing that anyone could do, but because he's had his own share of scandals in recent months, which include potential war crimes that could, theoretically, land him behind bars one day.
Yeah, in a just world where these rules are actually properly enforced, you would expect that this man would be put away for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we already know about the leaked signal chats and the repeated bombings of alleged drug boats, which killed dozens of people, and probably a lot of people who aren't involved in the drug trade. But if there's one thing members of this administration do better than killing people, it's committing the exact kind of waste, fraud, and abuse that they claimed to be so vehemently against. And it looks like Pete Hegseth decided to go on a multi-billion-dollar spending spree to close out the last fiscal year in order to use up the entire budget in time to avoid future cuts.
It's like the episode of The Office where they have money to spend, they gotta buy the copier or whatever it is, otherwise the budget gets reduced next year.
Yeah, you gotta use your vacation days. They don't roll over.
Yeah.
Now, surely members of this administration wouldn't be dumb enough to spend an ungodly amount of taxpayer money on frivolous, self-serving bullshit, right? No, of course, wrong. He spent it on, like, pianos and crab legs and
all that kind of
other
stuff.
such things, baby. Real blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth, manly shit.
Yep.
Oorah. Here's the New Republic on this infuriating use of public funds.
The Pentagon spent more money in September, the end of the 2025 fiscal year, than it had in any other year since 2008. But a good chunk of the budget wasn't used for anything that could be considered a pertinent military expense. The Defense Department burned through $93 billion that month alone, signing checks left and right in order to dry up its congressionally allocated budget, according to a recent analysis by the government watchdog Open the Books. Some of the frivolous September purchases made under Secretary Pete Hegseth's stewardship include a $98,329 Steinway & Sons grand piano for the Air Force Chief of Staff's home.
I didn't even know they made pianos that expensive.
$5.3 million for Apple devices such as the new iPad, and an astronomical amount of shellfish, including $2 million for Alaskan king crab and $6.9 million worth of lobster tail. Lobster tail is apparently a favorite of Hegseth's Pentagon. The department spent more than $7.4 million total on the luxury item in March, May, June, and October. In other pricey food purchases, the government decided to drop $15.1 million for ribeye steak, again, just in September, $124,000 for ice cream machines, and $139,224 on 272 orders of donuts.
How big were these orders?
That's a big Pentagon, baby.
Wow.
And look, I don't want them eating gruel, but lobster tail, king crab, Steinway pianos.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe go for a different
Shrimp.
cut.
Get some shrimp.
Maybe some London broil instead of that T-bone steak.
Yeah, get yourself a brisket. You can take a cheap brisket and make it taste like the best meat you've ever had with just a little elbow grease.
They, of course, also, after all of that egregious spending, the pianos and the lobster tails and whatnot, the outlet ads, weeks later, millions of Americans would lose their SNAP benefits amid the longest government shutdown in U.S. history so far. Longest government shutdown in U.S. history so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in a far less consequential but equally stupid bit of news about Pete Hegseth, he's apparently really upset that photographers are taking unflattering photographs of him. So he has made the very adult decision to just straight up ban photographers from press briefings. I don't want to see these pictures.
Well, I think we've seen them. He
looks like Pete Hegseth. I don't know
what
he's
he
talking
thinks
about.
Yeah, it's weird. You look like the human version of Roger Klotz.
I think it's really cool how image-conscious men have become. We all the things that all of the neuroses that society gave women over the last several hundred years it's cool that men now we didn't get rid of those neuroses. We just made sure that everyone could have them. And now guys like Pete Hegseth, who, like, admittedly, handsome guy, seems to be in good shape.
Sure.
He just has...
Can't stand the sight of himself.
He has body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Can't even see his own picture in the newspaper without his cortisol levels spiking.
Oh, my cortisol!
But banning the photographers seems like a pretty good reason to get rid of any photographic record of these and future briefings specifically related to Iran.
Yeah, no, I'm totally doing it because you guys make me look bad and not for any other reason.
I mean, what about the audio? Is he self-conscious about his voice too?
They should pitch it up a little bit.
This is what the fake news misses. We've taken control of Iran's airspace and waterways. I get it. The press only wants to make the president look bad, but try for once to report the reality. The terms of this war will be set by us at every step.
Yeah, what if his voice cracks? Now, for their part, the Pentagon has denied these reports, but it definitely sounds like a request that would come from an administration that's clearly obsessed with appearances. Here's the Washington Post. The Defense Department has barred press photographers from briefings on the ongoing U.S.-Israeli military conflict with Iran after they published photos of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth that his staff deemed unflattering, according to two people familiar with the decision who spoke on the condition of anonymity out of fear of retaliation. After the photographers published photos, which have broad reach because they are licensed by publications globally, members of Hegseth's staff told colleagues that they did not like the way that the secretary looked. Hegseth's aides decided to shut out photographers from the two subsequent briefings at the Pentagon on March 4th and March 10th, according to two people familiar with the decision.
In a statement, Pentagon Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson wrote, "In order to use space in the Pentagon briefing room effectively, we are allowing one representative per news outlet if uncredentialed, excluding pool. Photographs from the briefings are immediately released online for the public and press to use. If that hurts the business model for certain news outlets, then they should consider applying for a Pentagon press credential." The National Press Photographers Association, NPPA, which advocates for photographers' rights, condemned the Defense Department's decision in a statement after this article was published and called upon the Pentagon to restore access to banned photographers. The group also said retaliation against photographers raises fresh First Amendment concerns. Excluding photographers from Pentagon briefings because officials did not like how published images portrayed them shows an astonishingly poor sense of priorities in the midst of a war and is, for a public servant, not a good look, NPPA President Alex Garcia said. A free press cannot function if government officials decide that only favorable images of public officials may be created or distributed.
Yeah, this is weird, and it's coming off as a little insecure, guys.
It also comes across as being willing to hide things and seeing what you can get away with and who you can ban from these briefings because there's always a test shot to see what can happen.
Didn't they already do that thing where they made like everyone sign a loyalty oath or something?
Yeah, and then they got a bunch of right-wing podcasters in there and they all took pictures at the same Washington Post desk.
Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about with the Pentagon Press Association is like if you're an official member of the Pentagon Press Association.
Which is like Newsmax.
You have to sign this like insane loyalty oath where it's like basically they have to sign off on anything you publish.
Or you lose access.
Even if it's something they said out loud to you, they can revoke your right to publish it afterwards, which every news outlet was like, no, it's not how it works. But yeah, Pete Hegseth sounds like a really fun person to work with.
Yeah, you could get an axe thrown at you on accident.
And look, if you're at the Department of Defense and want to get away for a while, you might be in luck here, as long as you don't mind doing some pretty morally reprehensible work, because Pete Hegseth is now pressuring members of the DoD to volunteer and assist with the president's immigration crackdown. Here's Wired. In a February 19th memo sent to civilians across the DoD, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth wrote that he expects every supervisor to encourage their civilian employees to volunteer. Leadership must continue to promote this detail program and educate their civilian employees on its importance. The memo, which was titled Department of War Guidance to Encourage Support to the Department of Homeland Security, Southern Border and Internal Immigration Enforcement Missions, was sent to thousands of civilian DoD employees.
Well, now we know why they use acronyms. That's a mouthful, that initiative. Very long name.
Also, they just dead named the Dow. They call it the DOD.
Yeah, that's what is so annoying about all this too, because every like serious outlet keeps calling it the Department of Defense, but Pete Hegseth and even some of Trump's cabinet keep calling it the Department of Defense, and him the Secretary of Defense.
It's very weird because all they'd have...
And he says Department of War, Secretary of War.
Because, yeah, it still is officially called the Department of Defense. All they'd have to do is get Congress to approve the name change. Yeah. It's weird they haven't.
Well, and it's causing problems right now because there's been a couple interviews where, you know, they do the back and forth about whether or not this is a war, and it's very easy for them to point at Pete Hegseth and just be like, whoa, what's up with this then?
Yeah.
This guy seems pretty fucking amped about it.
Also the name.
Yeah.
Department of War.
So this article continues. The instructions follow a June 2025 memo in which Hegseth authorized civilian employees to be detailed to DHS. But an Army civilian employee who spoke to Wired on the condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation says that there is definitely more pressure now, at least on the supervisory chain. I received the obligatory announcement email with the first memo when it came out, and no one has talked about it at all. So much so that I had forgotten about it entirely, says the Army civilian employee. I don't know anyone who has taken the job. The employee noted that as part of the Trump administration's efforts to cut back on government jobs in the name of efficiency, Hegseth has sought to cut the department's workforce. I have taken up the duties of 3 departed colleagues on top of the job I was hired for as a result, they say.
Morale has never been higher.
The employee described this kind of request to volunteer for another federal agency as very not common. It's not like the Defense Department has any spare time at the moment either. Hegseth and DoD leadership are currently engaged in directing the U.S.'s role in conflict with Iran.
Yeah, I feel like if you're running the DoD during a literal war, kind of the hottest war we've had in over a decade, probably not the best time to be making all of your civilian contractors and civilian employees
take on more work.
Multitask.
In addition to firing a bunch
mission.
of people. Yeah, this is the Department of Defense version of a lean startup. This is outrageous.
Yeah. But this is also something that happens a lot in fascist regimes.
And so does the banning the press from making you look bad, making you appear ugly or mean or something that they don't want to represent. So, seeing a lot of similarities here.
Yeah. Well, now we have to talk about that ongoing war in Iran. We've reached that part of the show. And despite Trump insisting multiple times that he either doesn't know about any bomb hitting a girls' elementary school or that he does know about it, but he's convinced that Iran bombed its own girls' elementary school.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report.
Turns out, yeah. If our leaders had the ability to feel shame, they would be puking their guts out and inconsolable over the fact that, yeah, based on a preliminary inquiry, it was most definitely the United States who bombed that elementary school and killed 175 people, many of them children. And now the president has conveniently gone back to just not knowing anything about it.
As Commander-in-Chief, do you take responsibility for that?
That is what?
As Commander-in-Chief, do you...
For what?
For the strike on the school in Iran. A new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
I don't know about it.
Here's the New York Times with more on this and the official U.S. statement, which appears to be, oops, sorry, bad data. Fucking monsters.
Yeah.
The February 28th strike on the Shajara Tayyebe Elementary School building was the result of a targeting mistake by the U.S. military, which was conducting strikes on an adjacent Iranian base, of which the school building was formerly a part, the preliminary investigation found. Officers at U.S. Central Command created the target coordinates for the strike using outdated data provided by the Defense Intelligence Agency, people briefed on the investigation said.
Officials emphasized that the findings are preliminary and that there are important unanswered questions about why the outdated information had not been double-checked. Striking a school full of children is sure to be recorded as one of the most devastating single military errors in recent decades. Iranian officials have said the death toll was at least 175 people, most of them children. While the overall finding was largely expected, the United States is the only country involved in the conflict that uses Tomahawk missiles. It has already cast a shadow on the U.S. military operation in Iran. And that's crazy because a majority of people, even Republicans, were and still are against this war. So the idea that this little fucking oopsie is what has cast a shadow on the operation, that's insane to me.
Everything was going so well except for this.
The first fucking thing we did, essentially. Yeah. This was like one of the first things that happened in this conflict.
Yeah, it's what, I mean, at least on West Coast time, I woke up and I was like, okay, we're at war with Iran. Okay, we bombed a school.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing I learned about it.
And I just want to point out that it is very fucking bizarre to know that there are actual conservatives who really did finally break from Trump over all of the Epstein stuff and the exploitation of children and are somehow not just completely outraged and screaming for impeachment over the fact that this administration just killed over 100 children in a single airstrike. And that's not meant to diminish the Epstein victims in any way. These are completely different, horrific, unimaginable scenarios that just so happen to involve some of the same people. I'm just trying to desperately figure out where this country's line of morality actually is.
Yeah, they care about children in very specific, particular ways.
Like with abortion and then a child that would need some kind of welfare system. There's the whole element that we see this a lot with like the ICE stuff where they're doing horrible shit all the time. People are dying a lot in the facilities, but it only matters once it's like a U.S. citizen, as if that distinction makes someone more of a human being. There was reports recently of one of the detention centers, the guards punishing young children because they lost one of their like foil blankets. So they took all of them away and had them sleeping on concrete in the cold.
Yeah, it's
and there was a lice outbreak too, and they had like one of the combs went missing, so they were disciplined over it.
Yeah, it's barbaric. It is literally it's Nazi shit. The Nazis they wanted the lice to break out because
people pointed out that Anne Frank didn't die in the gas chamber. She died of exposure to disease. And yeah, it's not exactly the healthiest place to be, but we're veering off topic into domestic issues when we have a war that's going on as well. There's too much happening. There's been too much happening.
I started seeing billboards around, and I mean, this is like
I've seen some anti-ICE billboards.
Obviously, LA and California, but I mean, people maybe think LA and California are more progressive than they actually are, but. Billboards that really just like hammer home specifically on the cost, where they're just like, here's what ICE spent this money on.
Yep.
Here's what was taken away from you in exchange for that.
Yeah, there's one that I saw that calculates the numbers on healthcare coverage.
Yeah, that's what it.
Yeah, and it should be infuriating to people.
Yeah,
and for what?
Even if you people are fucking weird about immigration just as an issue, but I mean, it's like even if you are. Maybe in support of the vague idea of what ICE is doing, like the fact that it's costing so much fucking money at the expense of
when you're a fiscal conservative,
stuff.
That would be something that you would think change your mind about it.
Anyway, back to Iran. If you had any questions about the competency of our military after bombing a school, you would be thrilled to know that there's been a new appointment to a key advisory board for the United States Air Force Naval Academy. And all we can say is thank God we got rid of DEI, because how else would we end up with someone as qualified as Erika Kirk? Get those fireworks going, everyone. We're in good hands. Yes, you heard that correctly. Erika Kirk, the wife of former podcaster and Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk, has been given an advisory role in the military for some reason. And by the way, this has been a sore subject for a lot of people, including veterans, since the beginning of the war with Iran. But there hasn't been a federal directive to lower the nation's flags in honor of those fallen troops. And as you'll probably recall, the Trump White House ordered flags at half-mast for his favorite podcaster, Charlie Kirk, almost immediately after he died. Mm-hmm. Also, Trump witnessed the transfer of fallen soldiers wearing a fucking baseball hat. He used it as a merch advertisement. He does not give a fuck. Mm-mm. Back to Erika Kirk, though. What possible reason could there be for Charlie Kirk's wife to be in this position?
Well, it's actually quite simple. It's kind of like a Santa Claus type scenario. Charlie Kirk was, again, inexplicably given a role on this Air Force advisory board, and now he's dead. So the role has been transferred to his wife via like a blood pact or something. It's, when Santa falls off the roof, you have to be Santa.
It's sort of like a lordship in the UK.
Yeah, but that begs the question, why was Charlie Kirk on this board? And it just seems like Trump filled it with sycophants who would be happy to update the curriculum and standards to something that aligns with more of Trump's bizarre vision for what American exceptionalism actually is. Like, have you seen the Turning Point USA bus that's going around? Like the Museum on Wheels, and it's all AI-generated presidents talking to children? There's
what
bizarre shit happening.
I've seen... Glenn Beck has like an AI George Washington that he like...
Maybe he's leasing it out to them because it's a semi-truck that you walk into. It's a mobile museum and you press a button and they come to life and start telling you about how cool America is.
Glenn Beck has a bunch of recent videos where he has like deep conversations with robot George Washington about modern day issues. It's the stupidest fucking thing. So yeah, it's probably something like that.
George, what do you think about all the reports, the verified reports of children shitting in litter boxes in high schools? What's high school? The fuck's a litter box?
What the fuck is the internet?
The fuck is the internet?
I would just love to be a fly on the wall in these like Air Force advisory meetings where you've got like top brass dudes with so many stripes on their shoulders just sitting around a table with a bunch of
and then that
chud influencers.
Boss bitch comes in with her padded shoulders and her very big eyes.
Yeah. When she gives you the stare.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Been Kirkified.
What do they even talk about? What?
I'm sure they talk about the curriculum and how it needs to be very exclusively America #1 the best. I'm sure it has something to do with the Turning Point USA / that's what I was thinking of. PragerU is the one that has the bus going around.
Oh, Dennis Prager has been like on death's door for like a year now too. But I was gonna say,
well, they're gonna bring him back to life with the power of AI.
Yeah, they don't. Dennis, your earthly body is no longer needed.
Nope.
Anyways, with more on this, just outrageous bullshit. Here's The Guardian. Donald Trump has appointed Erika Kirk, the widow of murdered right-wing activist Charlie Kirk, to a key advisory board of the U.S. Air Force Academy. The 37-year-old joins a number of other loyalists to the president on the 16-member panel of the Academy's Board of Visitors, which, according to its website, inquires into the morale, discipline, curriculum, instruction, physical equipment, fiscal affairs, academic methods, and other matters of the Colorado Springs Military Training Facility. We need Erika Kirk in here stat.
Yeah. I don't even know how the fuck our U.S. Air Force has operated over the past, what has it been, around a century now, without the guidance of Erika Kirk.
Like, what could... The only, like, she's just like, any problem they have, like, well, if someone died.
Yeah.
If someone was brutally murdered.
We'd have a really good way to market this. And
yeah. We could sell a lot of hats.
I got a fireworks guy if you guys need that.
Yeah. Needs more fireworks. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about leather pants?
Have you thought about challenging the Ayatollah to a debate in the marketplace of ideas?
Changed my mind, Ayatollah.
It continues, there was no official announcement by the Academy of his widow's elevation, which was reported on Tuesday by The Hill and other political news outlets. But her name has already been added to the list of members as one of Trump's current 5 appointees, with one slot vacant.
That's Charlie's seat.
They keep it open for him. Yeah. And that seat's for the Lord and Charlie. In a statement, White House spokesperson Olivia Wales said Erika Kirk was a perfect choice to succeed her husband. Charlie Kirk served proudly on the board, inspiring not only the next generation of service members, but millions around the world with his bold Christian faith, defense of the truth, and deep love of country, she said. Erika Kirk will continue his legacy and will be a fearless advocate for the most elite air power force in the history of the world, whose warriors keep our nation safe, strong, and free.
Listen, nothing against pilots, but you don't get to call yourself warriors. You're like all the way up there. There hasn't been a dogfight in decades.
If that's true, then maybe. But I really like the Top Guns, and I really like the old World War II.
Our drone operator. Let me ask you this: is a drone operator a warrior?
Ooh, right. But again,
taking a tactical sip of my Diet Coke.
Yeah.
While I
my
target.
White Monster. none of this matters. It doesn't matter what level of the military you're in. You could be a fucking general and Trump doesn't respect you. He does not give a fuck about any troops. He thinks they're stupid. And he's already indicated multiple times that troop deaths under him are a sacrifice that he is willing to make.
Yeah, very like casual and nonchalant.
Many times.
Too. Like the kind of statement where if like Joe Biden or Obama said it, you'd never hear the end of it.
Yeah, but he just keeps dropping this frequently. And maybe that's because Trump seems to think that when troops die, they can get up and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
Here is a real clip from one of Trump's recent press conferences, and I don't know, you try to make sense of it.
And all of the people that died through the roadside bombs died and are right now walking around with no legs, no arms.
Wow. Yep.
I mean, definitely a strong leader with all of his mental faculties in order and zero cognitive issues. I feel safer, don't you? Actually, no, I don't. No. I don't feel safe at all, actually. And we'll get to a billion reasons why in just a second, but it's that time again, folks. Gotta take another unfortunately timed sponsor break.
This is the sponsor dance. We gotta walk away from the news and walk into the sponsor.
At least today's sponsor is in the business of keeping you safe while you surf the information superhighway. Yeah.
Is that doing anything for anyone?
Yeah, he's surfing the web over here.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Surfshark. If you watch this show, you already know how much of your data is being vacuumed up at all times. Data brokers, advertisers, governments, apps you downloaded once in 2016. Everyone wants a piece of you and your data. That's why we use Surfshark. Using Surfshark is basically like putting on pants before leaving the house. You can go out without them, but you probably shouldn't. The second you connect, Surfshark encrypts your internet activity so trackers and random corporate entities can't just casually monitor what you're doing.
And it's not complicated. One account works on unlimited devices. Phone, laptop, tablet, smart TV, whatever you're doom scrolling our show on, it'll work. By the way, Surfshark, they have more than 4,500 servers in over 100 locations. But our favorite tool has to be Alternative ID. It generates a brand new persona and email for you to use on sketchy sites, so you're not feeding your real info to an algorithm every time you sign up for something. It's also great for travel. Prices for flights and hotels change depending on where you're searching from, which we've talked about before. Surfshark, it lets you switch locations instantly, so you can double check. Plus, it protects you on public Wi-Fi, which, if you've ever opened your laptop in an airport, you know is basically digital roulette. We use it whenever we're traveling or working remotely because the internet is already chaotic enough and there's no need to give it extra access. So if you'd like to browse without feeling like you're in a constant data experiment, go to surfshark.com/newsday. That gets you 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Plus there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, or you can just punch in code Newsday at checkout. Again, that is surfshark.com/newsday or code Newsday at checkout.
Put on your digital pants to protect your digital privates.
And start strutting.
Yeah. Okay, back to the news now. We'll eventually get to a story that's not war-related on this episode, but it's kind of a really important problem that affects the entire Earth. Since we're in California, though, let's do what Californians do best and make it all about us.
Yeah.
It appears as though there's been a threat against our state.
Why us?
On behalf of Iran.
Look. I don't want any part of the United States to be targeted by Iran. But California, we're so fucking relaxed over here.
They hate us because they ain't us.
It's really far. And like, isn't there a fucking like little like island that's all like very compressed? A bunch of billionaires all live on like one island in Florida.
Yeah. There's probably better targets.
I know.
This is obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
They do. I was just thinking about it, and there is one very good reason why Iran would want to attack California, and it's because if it weren't for sanctions against Iran, they would absolutely dominate the global pistachio trade.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah. And some of the biggest funders of lobbyists to basically like never drop the sanctions against Iran are the big agro businesses here in California. The Wonderful company that makes those pistachios, they put a lot of money into making sure Iran never gets a chance to compete with them.
No, well, it's going to be bomb wonderful.
But yeah, I'm overthinking it. I put more thought into this than anyone else has.
You've put more thought into that than the Trump administration has put into this war.
Yeah.
But we're threatened. Although, like, I agree that there's probably a heightened sense of, like, there's probably a lot more terrorist threats just because of the fucking actions that the Trump administration has taken.
Right.
But I I certainly don't think that a drone is coming to strike California. And also, I don't fucking believe anything the FBI says anymore because of how they've acted.
Yeah. So, yeah, it seems like no one in a position of power thought any of this through. It's as if they thought there would be just zero pushback, retaliation, or reverberations from their actions anywhere across the globe. Nevertheless, I'm not staying up at night worrying about Iranian drones.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere near the top of my concerns.
I'm more worried about pistachios. I don't like them.
I love them. I love them. You like pistachios?
He's a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. That's why you watch the show.
Pomegranates too. Yeah, a lot. They'd probably.
Is that do pistachios take as much water as almonds or anything like that?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, Iran, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's ABC News with more on this latest threat. And first off, we really have to say how much it sucks that it's nearly impossible to trust anything that the FBI says after the past year or so, because now that we're back at war in the Middle East, the risk of attacks here is obviously going to increase.
So, yeah, it would be nice to have a competent FBI.
I mean, but like, again, it's the fucking Iraq 9/11 playbook, but like dumber, where, yes, obviously the threat of terrorism
increases
was higher, yes. But the FBI back then was also just like going in chat rooms and like basically trying to like entrap fucking teenagers, and it's like, okay, you're creating threats out of thin air.
Yeah.
And
it perpetuates the war machine, so
yeah. I hope they bring back the color chart.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The terrorist threat level.
The threat level, which no one could understand. Like, guys, today's
and it was just always up high. It was like the fire warning in California. It never really goes the other way. And much like the cortisol level in front of the White House, they need to have a giant cortisol sign in front of the White House.
Yeah, the threat level is orange, folks. So act accordingly.
I would not be surprised if that is right around the corner.
But yeah, here's some of their coverage about this threat.
The FBI warned police departments in California in recent days that Iran could retaliate for American attacks by launching drones at the West Coast, according to an alert reviewed by ABC News. We recently acquired information that as of early February 2026, Iran allegedly aspired to conduct a surprise attack using unmanned aerial vehicles from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California.
I thought we took out their whole Navy. I'm getting mixed messages here.
In the event that the U.S. conducted strikes against Iran, according to the alert distributed at the end of February. We have no additional information on the timing, method, target, or perpetrators of this alleged attack. California Governor Gavin Newsom's office told ABC News, the Governor's Office of Emergency Services is actively working with state, local, and federal security officials to protect our communities. And the LA Sheriff's Department said that in light of current global events, it is maintaining an elevated level of readiness.
Oh, so before this, you weren't?
No.
You weren't ready?
No.
You were just slacking off before this?
No, we were beating up homeless people, you moron.
Yeah.
And you're next.
God. So, again, Trump administration, LA Sheriff's Department, we're not exactly feeling like our best and brightest are looking out for everyone's safety, regardless of whether or not this specific threat was legitimate. Then again, simply the threat of an attack, any attack, is more than enough to scare people, boost insurance rates for large events, and potentially damage the economy. Take the Strait of Hormuz, for example.
Yep.
So Trump claimed a few days ago that he would make sure that the ships passing through the strait would be safe. And he was encouraging them. He's like, be brave.
I bet you won't.
Grow a pair.
What are you, chicken?
Put on your big boy pants and go in the strait. Yeah. But he's not actually in any real position to do that without starting a larger engagement. And it doesn't matter anyway, because Iran has been placing mines there and threatening ships that try to pass.
Yeah.
And hitting a few of them. That threat is enough for global shipping insurers to pull back from coverage or increase rates to a level that is untenable, causing everything to grind to a halt regardless of whether or not there's an active attack taking place. Which, makes sense. If you got a big fucking ship and it's picking up a lot of oil from UAE or Kuwait or wherever, someone has to insure.
Yeah, it's a big liability.
Yeah, it's a big liability. If that goes down or gets damaged, that's a lot of money in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And they're not moving unless they got the insurance.
So it is funny that when Trump he's like encouraging ship captains as if they have like any decision.
Yeah, buddy, I'm not fucking moving.
Yeah, don't listen to your bosses back at like Merck.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, I got you covered if you're on the hook for the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Tell them I said it was okay.
So yeah, there have been reports of some insurers refusing to cover any war risks at all. And while Lloyd's of London says that they're still offering insurance for the ships, its prices are obviously jumping. It's like getting insurance in California after the fires. Yeah, you can get it, but it's going to cost you. Meanwhile, the United States is, I don't know where they're finding the money. I thought that the purse strings were tightening. I thought that there was no money left.
Well, they cut NPR and
and Big Bird.
Yeah,
and
all science, and so we have some money left.
So meanwhile, the United States is offering $20 billion of our tax money in an attempt to get more ships covered. But just because a ship can, at least currently, get insurance, doesn't mean the crew and captain are going to make that journey.
Yeah.
Fending off criticism over canceled policies and sharp price rises, Lloyd said it still provided insurance cover for hull and cargo for vessels in the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, including in the Strait of Hormuz. However, last week it extended the restricted areas where clients needed to notify insurers to agree to an appropriate premium in terms of the risk. About 500 oil and gas tankers, 500 container ships, and 6 cruise ships have been trapped either side of the Hormuz Channel since Iran made it a no-go zone by threatening to attack any vessel passing through.
Worst cruise ever.
They're loving it until the booze runs out.
Yeah.
And the toilets overflow.
Toilets, the poop cruise.
Yep.
You get a poop cruise situation. Analysts at Jefferies said, it's our base case that all ships currently in the Gulf will have had their policies canceled, and almost all of these will have reinstated it at the new, much higher price. They added, it seems likely to us that the war risk insurers will have had the opportunity to specifically exclude or separately charge for certain actions such as sailing through the Strait of Hormuz. On Friday, the U.S. government announced a $20 billion reinsurance facility for hull and cargo cover, but excluding pollution cover when ships are sunk, and said it was working with U.S. insurers. Analysts have cast doubt on the effectiveness of the facility.
I love that, outside of this being something that's probably not going to happen or could never be backed up by any actual, insurer in America that would be worth their grain or worth their weight in salt, would be that just the cherry on top that the U.S. is also but please don't cover any of the environmental catastrophe that would come from multiple oil rigs or oil ships sinking in these gulfs.
Yeah, that is, oil gets in the ocean sometimes. Get over it.
Yeah.
So don't you just fucking love your tax dollars going to patch up some bullshit that the president himself destroyed? Don't you love it?
Yeah.
We're being led by middle-aged babies who are in the midst of a tantrum, and it's dangerous for literally everyone.
Yeah, and now,
the monkey has the gun.
A bunch of countries worldwide are opening up their oil reserves, which everyone is saying, okay, cool, yeah, no, it's gonna be fine. And I guess
but those run out.
Yeah, exactly. It's a couple of days worth of oil production. It's a real, as you would say, boondoggle that we've gotten ourselves in on multiple fronts here.
And again, we said it before, but if anyone could have seen that this was going to happen, and it's really fucking interesting that in the year leading up to this, you would make it significantly harder for anyone to invest in renewable energy. You would actively sabotage efforts to invest in renewable energy.
And, as a nice side dish, completely dismantle global trade.
Yeah.
Through tariffs. Mm-hmm. And make everyone fucking angry at you for an entire year leading up to this. Moment where they could probably come and help.
It's the art of the fucking deal, baby.
Yeah. But hey, it's not just the elderly members of the Trump family who are just rubbing our faces in it. Trump's social media star granddaughter is drawing some pretty justified criticism for a recent video that she uploaded called, I Brought My Secret Service to Erowhon. And for those who aren't aware, Erowhon is a comically overpriced grocery store where a banana actually can cost $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never even stepped foot in one. I've been curious. Apparently a lot of people go there just to window
look
shop. Yeah. I don't even know where.
I've been in one. There's one in Pasadena. That's
okay. Yeah, I know there's
Silver Lake, they opened one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
There's no reason to go. It's very expensive.
Yeah, I just want to see a strawberry that costs $20.
Yeah, well, their famous Hailey Bieber smoothie, that alone goes for $21. So it's a lot of it's weird. It's a level of wealth and privilege that is hard to describe, especially when you factor in everything else about this Trump granddaughter's family and the current state of the country. Like, what the fuck are you doing uploading a video like this?
Yeah, it's a little tone deaf. It's a little let them eat cake.
But luckily, people are reacting very negatively to this content, which makes us feel a little bit better about the world.
It's giving Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, that is what the comments are saying. Here's local outlet KTLA with more. Kai Trump, the 18-year-old granddaughter of President Donald Trump, brought her Secret Service detail and all her YouTube followers along on a run to luxury grocery store Erowhon, sparking widespread criticism on social media. I'm gonna need to file for bankruptcy, Trump joked in her YouTube video titled, I Brought My Secret Service to Erowhon.
Like my grandpa did several times.
Which has garnered more than 343,000 views since it was first published on Sunday, March 8th.
Many voiced their opinions on her trip, drawing Marie Antoinette comparisons,
Yeah.
and labeling the content as tone deaf amid rising grocery and gas costs across the U.S. and the war in Iran.
Elliot has the hive mind of the internet sitting right there on top. Like, hey, this seems pretty tone deaf.
I'm not B40, but I'm
He's locked in with
the Zoomers.
Yeah.
I kind of understand how a pre-revolution French peasant felt right now, said one YouTube commenter. Another commenter said, Grandpa killing innocent children, enjoy your $50 smoothie though. I love that my taxes are funding this instead of school lunches, added another. Trump did complain in the video that everything's super expensive while she loaded her basket up with items like sushi, a $14 bottle of water, and $16 jar of dates. Guys, one thing about me is I don't spend like a lot of money, she said to the man behind the camera at one point. Like, I don't spend a lot. So how much was her haul? The single bag of items, which included the Hailey Bieber smoothie, went for a whopping $233.
One bag.
Fucking hell. It's so wild. Like, LA, there's like, we don't have like a caste system in this country, but like you could really go by like grocery stores. Like, obviously, Erowhon is like the elite. Yeah. And below that, I think you got Gelson's.
Yeah.
Gelson's and Bristol Farms.
Yeah.
I'd put Bristol Farms slightly above Gelson's.
And then you get down and then it's Sprouts and Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And then you have your local favorites. You got your Vons, John's, Ralph's. Either way, how about a little tech news on your what's supposed to be a tech news show? Hey, we love to watch AI fail, don't we, folks?
It's like the one thing I got going right now.
Yeah, well, as more and more people start to assign their chatbots increasingly important and personal tasks, well, the more spectacular the failures are going to be. And after all, why shouldn't they trust these LLMs? The hype surrounding this tech is pretty much begging people to trust AI with every aspect of their lives. Hey, the US economy counts on it. Upload all of your documents.
We need you to do it.
And one trend that has been around since the beginning of the AI chatbot boom is just ignoring lawyers' advice and getting it all from your AI instead. What would a human being know that a computer wouldn't?
Yeah, it's not like the legal profession is like very esoteric and differs from place to place. And, you know, there's a reason people spend so long in school and the success rate is so low.
And the experience of working with familiar judges and local courts and knowing the ins and outs.
How hard could it be to program a chatbot to just do all that?
Yeah. Well, this next woman basically had a claim against an insurance company that was settled with her human lawyer. But then her chatbot had other ideas. And it convinced her to file numerous appeals, which resulted in her being countersued for $300,000.
Great job, lady.
Here's WGN.
A federal lawsuit filed by life insurance company Nippon claims OpenAI's chatbot acted as a lawyer and convinced a woman to fire her human attorney. Nippon says it settled a long-term disability lawsuit with an Illinois woman 2 years ago. Graciela De La Torre signed a full release, and the case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it can't be refiled. However, last year, De La Torre sought to reopen the case. When her attorney told her the settlement was final, Nippon says she turned to ChatGPT. The company claims the chatbot helped De La Torre draft filings to try to undo her settlement, which she filed pro se, meaning without a lawyer. A judge denied the effort. Following the judge's decision, De La Torre filed a new case, flooding the docket with dozens of filings generated with ChatGPT's help. Responding to the mishap cost Nippon nearly $300,000, according to the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Well, Nippon should have just used ChatGPT to respond to ChatGPT.
Yeah, this could still be going on. They could just be racking up
Because like
Legal fees.
like it's stupid to try to use ChatGPT for what the lady's trying to do, but the lady's totally in the wrong. So why are you paying your white shoe law firm like $1,000 an hour?
Yeah.
When all you really got to do is be like, excuse me, Your Honor, the case was already. She can't do this. The case was settled.
Yeah.
Wow, your lawyers are kind of fleecing you here, Nippon.
Yeah. It should just be like their side should just be a pop-up that asks if there's anything they can assist with.
Yeah.
Hello. What are you looking for today?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Anyways, finally today, is this maybe, possibly, the beginning of the end for the prediction market apps like Polymarket and Kalshi?
Please, God.
No, probably
Make
not.
it go away. Oh, fuck.
But it is one step closer to at least getting these apps regulated in the same way as gambling apps, which they are, because this is gambling.
Yeah.
Here's NBC News with a ruling out of Ohio. An Ohio federal judge on Monday said she's obligated to avoid absurdity and ruled that Kalshi's prediction markets in sports amount to acts of gambling, which should come under state regulations. Kalshi, a New York-based predictive market where users can put money down to receive payouts on everything from athletics to politics and world events, had asked the court for an injunction against the Ohio Casino Control Commission. The regulatory body wants to stop Kalshi from operating as an unlicensed sportsbook that is facilitating bookmaking in Ohio.
Yeah, they're literally doing that. Kalshi said its sports offerings should be treated as federally regulated swaps, a type of contract often found in financial investing. U.S. District Judge Sarah Morrison disagreed. Swaps are, quote, understood as a transaction involving financial instruments and measures that traditionally and directly affect commodity prices, she wrote. Currency exchange rates, the weather, and energy costs all do that. The number of points scored in the Huskies-Bobcats game does not, Morrison added. This conclusion is further supported by the court's obligation to avoid absurdity. The judge continued. Ohio argues that absurd results would flow from defining a swap to include a sports event contract. The court agrees. A representative for Kalshi said the company will appeal the Ohio decision. The company won a decision recently in Tennessee that blocked Nashville from forcing Kalshi to adhere to state regulations. We respectfully disagree with the court's decision, which splits from a decision from federal court in Tennessee just a few weeks ago, and will promptly seek an appeal. A Kalshi spokesperson said, yeah, it's weird that the federal government is like, let them play, and then governments that are not the federal government are like, this is absurd that you are even making this comparison.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. But it'll probably go to an appeal court, and then a Trump-friendly judge will be like, well, you see, the problem is Trump's son is on the advisory board, and then we got Erika Kirk on another advisory board, and then we got Trump's granddaughter at the advisory board of Erowhon, and as you can see, it's a little bit difficult for us to rein in any of this corruption. So you'll just have to wait until the inevitable happens.
If the Democrats ever get the White House back, they need to give Lena Khan a Gundam.
Yeah. She needs to march to Silicon Valley in a fucking Gundam and just kick buildings over. That's it. All right, that's all for this video. We will be back with more, of course. But in the meantime, please like the video. Click the like button. It really does help. We appreciate it so much. Leave a comment, reply to a comment, and hey, we have new merch. Go to internettoday.merch.com, pick up a shirt, pick up a poster, do whatever you want. Just make sure you interact with the video in some way. We have other stuff popping over for you to watch right over here. We'll see you soon.
Bye.